The woman sitting at the table, writing frantically, is Alex. I know you cannot see her, so I will describe her for you. 5 foot 5 inches in height, 26 years old, slender, light brown hair, shoulder length. It's pulled back into a ponytail at the moment. Pajama pants, black with little hearts on them, and a blue zip-up hoodie zipped up. Now that you have a vague picture of who the subject is, I'll get on with the story. Alex often thought of magnificent monologues that she knew would make a good, tantalizing story to share with everyone. She also knew the possibility of self-grandiosity, dreams of fame blowing up her own ego. Maybe that's why she was never able to put these grand monologues onto paper. Or it could be the distractions. She is a mother after all. 3-year-olds can be a handful. Or it could be she was afraid. Afraid of what? Well, that is a long story. Alex was never truly alone. Her brain has a number of voices in it. Some come and go. Some are more resilient. I am one of those voices. I've been here for a long time, almost as long as she's been talking. I am the savior. I don't believe I properly introduced myself. I take Alex's life situations and turn them into an introduction to a movie. I am the part that distracts and brings relief. I am needed. Unlike some of the voices in here, I help her cope. Some of the others, well, I do not appreciate all the work they undo. Rather negative, nasty things. I try to turn situations better, put an optimistic edge to whatever scene I'm putting up. Then they show up. I will argue with them for hours, sometimes days. Whoever wins dictates her actions. When I'm victorious, she runs errands, works in support groups, and plays happily with her family. When the other voices win, she gets stuck, tired and exhausted, sometimes curled up in a ball, unable to move. They really do a number on her. Today I was victorious, for whatever reason. Maybe it was the epiphany she had yesterday. I guess the beginning would be an apt place to start. The story of Alex. Most recent epiphany. The night before last, Alex went to bed alone. Her husband was working on lights to grow vegetables indoors and was diligently working to get the project completed. She fell asleep by herself. 3 a.m. she woke up, still by herself, when she started crying. Waking up alone always made her cry. She was never sure why, but it brought back a pain too deep to stand. Alright, stop that shit right now. This guy thinks he can just swoop in and tell a story? Talking mad shit? I'm not nasty. I'm reality. That goddamn coward hates that I don't sugarcoat life. Life is fucking awful. Why? 'Cause Alex always fucks up. Now we could write the fucking truth, but Mr. Sunshine thinks all Alex's shit don't stink. I'm the one who keeps her selfishness under control. Without me, who the fuck knows what would happen to the people she surrounds herself with. They'd leave, that's what. Maybe she should be exhausted from fucking everything up. That guy. Fuck that guy. Everything's like a movie. Nothing's like a movie. Chaos breeds like a virus. People are terrible and self-indulgent, just like Alex. Humans as a whole can go fuck themselves. So sorry for that interruption. I thought I had taken care of that earlier. Hopefully no more interruptions. Where was I? Oh yes. Alex woke up alone, started crying. She went downstairs for some medicine and a cigarette to ease the pain that was so deep in her chest. Kyle, her husband, heard her by the door and came to help. Alex screamed at him for, well, I'm not sure what. A scream came out either way. You know what? The flow is all off now. I'm sorry. That thing that just throws negativity everywhere, I just can't understand it. What benefit is there to be sad and shameful all the time? He absolutely makes no sense. And yet he shows up and undoes all the progress we go through. Rude. Insanely rude. But he does make a good point. The story may be too much for now. We'll start off slow. Firstly, Alex has a mental illness, as most of you have already inferred from the mention of voices. When Alex first sought help in adulthood through therapy, she was unsure about sharing the hallucinations. She didn't know much about psychiatry practices when it came to legitimate hallucination disorders, but the picture painted in media is not a pleasant one. She didn't want to be thrown into a psych ward, forgotten about, because her brain didn't work right. The therapist she found, the closest one to her residence, turned out to be a pivotal part of Alex's recovery. Alex told her therapist about the hallucinations near the end of their third session. Her therapist told her not to conclude to any diagnosis until Alex saw a psychiatrist, but it could be a few different things. The day Alex got diagnosed will always be fresh on her mind. It was the start of an incredible, terrifying journey. The doctor entered the room confident, almost demanding, and when he spoke, Alex's brain disconnected, and he saw it. He pointed it out to the therapist, who was there with Alex's request. How does he know what my brain is doing? She was terrified, telling him what she could remember about her life. She was 21 years old, married, unemployed. The last year of her life was impossible to access, and there were large blocks in her childhood she could not account for. Every time someone asked her a question, her brain would swipe clean with no information to give. So have you guessed it? Do you know? Do you think she was surprised when she heard? Severe post-traumatic stress disorder. What? That doesn't make sense. Sure, parents were tough, but I was alive and I can't remember being abused. What does that mean? She was in awe. It took a while for the information to sink in. It would be years until the memories came back. I wish she could move on, get better. I try my best, but the darkness inside her is deep. She's often worried that her darkness will take over and wreak havoc on herself and her loved ones. I don't believe her life will go down that path, but she rarely listens to reason for long. Her emotions are strong and non-existent at the same time. I think you've had enough time talking. Alex's problem is she can see how ugly human nature is. She can sense it. Humans are detestable, too stupid, too smart. Human beings are a curse. I know what you're thinking. I'm the villain in her story. You don't know where she comes from, so obviously anything negative is untrue and mean. But the blindness you put on yourself doesn't make the world a better place. The opposite. It allows evil to grow and spread. Stupid, stupid humans. If it doesn't affect you, why worry about it? Even Alex does this quite often, which just feeds guilt. My role isn't to make Alex worse, believe it or not. My role is to keep her from becoming the thing she hates. Tough love. I stop her from being stupid, although I'm not always successful. Most of the time, it's best if she doesn't speak at all. I can't stand hearing her voice. She yells at me to go away, to shut up. Ultimately, she's powerless against me, although she does make it harder, invited other voices in, making it more crowded. I can survive everything. I have no age. I was there before her, and I'll be there after her. I am the self-doubt, the anger, the shame. I was there before Movie Man back there, and I'll be here after him. I am pain in its true form, just boiling and bubbling. I get pleasure from unjust people getting their just dessert. I'm the part that puts gory images in her head. The pain addiction is my brother. I've been pushing her towards pain for a long time. The first time I got her to cut herself, she was 12 years old. It didn't take much pushing. The environment was apt for it. Just do it. Take this and dig in. Yes. More. over and over and over and over. She's got a taste for blood that's never gone away. Even now, through all of her recovery, I can still take over and make her scratch till she bleeds. She's too smart to be around sharp objects with me in her head, but I can still make her bleed. I don't like it when he's around. He's mean. I think Alex is alright. She can make mistakes, but that's with everyone. I don't show up much. I'm older though. Hello, I'm the quiet one that will stand up for Alex, but I get drowned out easily. My energy levels are not up to task most days. I'm not creative, just a voice that chimes in with quick remarks here and there. I'm team savior, even if I can't help much. My main role is to remind Alex anything is possible, including her brain being wrong, but not in a hateful way. You gotta understand, her brain is a minefield. Triggers are everywhere. She gets lost and worried easily. Okay, we're getting off track. PTSD. Where did she get it? How? Ooh, I got some stories that will help you understand. Mother's trick. Alex's toddlerhood was confusing for her, partly due to a trick her mother would do to her. Out of the blue, her mother would stare her down and scowl. At first this would make her cry, but after a while she stopped crying. Alex's body would shut down, slumping onto the floor, unable to speak. In a store, at the dinner table, playing in the living room, it wouldn't matter when or where. Mother would scowl at Alex to keep her quiet and complacent. Mother would brag to family about her control over Alex. You know you're putting her at risk, right? Every pain you share about her is loaded with responsibility and risk. It's better to forget, to avoid the pain, not bathe us in it, like it will help in some way. The more she knows, the more it hurts. She's been in pain so long she can't remember living without it. Who knows if she's ever been pain-free. For the sake of sanity, leave well enough alone. You know what happens when she keeps it in. She can't keep it in anymore. Pain is all she knows. Something has to change. She's been open and changing, and now she's worse. What has recovery brought? Functional dyspepsia, alopecia, panic disorder, addiction. You can't put addiction on recovery. That was the beatings. Maybe so. The rest, I'd say, is valid. Recovery Road has brought us here, in pain fighting for sanity. It was better when we didn't know. Distractions were there and easy. There was black and white, happy or devastated. Now there's chaos inside her, and life outside. She can't work, can't eat, has night terrors nightly, chews her lips until they're raw and bloody. She can't. Leave her alone. She needs to continue. For herself, for her family. There are people depending on her. Surely you can admit that. So tired. She's going to die. I can feel it. Please, not now. It's early yet. Fine, put it off. She can feel it either way. Her chest hurts. Seems like the chest pain will never go away. Well, that was a bit of a sidetrack. Moving on. A little medical fact about Alex. Her eyesight is very poor. Without eye corrective wear, she's legally blind. The first 5 years, she couldn't see much. Would you get out of here? She has a lot to get through. Do we really need to mention her blindness? It's insignificant. What about the fact she was so terrified growing up she couldn't ask for food, so she'd eat paper? Or the time she learned not to drink anything that looks like soda, taking a big swig of coffee with cigarette butts? Or the time she killed her bird? That's a story with some trauma implications. Needing glasses, please. Bird killing. Alex received 2 parakeets for her 4th birthday. A boy parakeet she named Jack, and a girl parakeet she named Sarah. Jack was green, with bits of black and blue around his edges. His temperament was short with people. He'd bite and claw when you put your hand near him. Smart bird. Sarah was the opposite. She was very docile, didn't mind being pet and held. She was all white, which Alex attributed to her sweet demeanor. The birds were put in the girls' room. At that time, it was just Lee and Alex. Lee went to school during the day. Sometimes Alex would be home alone for hours. One of these times, Lee was at school, Alex was home alone. Alex wanted to play with someone. She had the birds for about a week at this point. She hadn't played with them yet. She really wanted to hold one. When she stuck her hand in the cage, Jack nipped at her. She pulled her hand back fast. Sarah was sitting on her perch to the right of the cage, with Jack near the center. Alex was successful with her second try. Once Sarah was retrieved from the cage, Alex set up a Barbie tea party for them to enjoy. There was tea, cookies, and crackers. Very delicious. The Barbie in attendance ate her treat, drank her tea, then it was nap time. Barbie lied down without a hitch. Sarah, well, she didn't know how to cooperate with Alex's wishes for everyone to have a nap time. There was no compromise for what time it was. It was time for sleep. Sarah kept getting up from her make-believe bed. Then an idea came. Alex took her pillow and put it on Sarah to help her lie down. She sat on the pillow to ensure rest. When she got up, Sarah wouldn't wake up from her nap time. Alex picked Sarah up and held her. Alex cried, realizing in an instant she had ended a life of her favorite bird. Alex cried, sitting with Sarah, until her mother came home. Her mother's reaction dismayed Alex. Mother laughed, put Sarah in a box, and threw it over the balcony. The loneliness is with her, no matter where she goes. The other memories from this era of Alex are a bit intense. To be honest, I know others will come out in force if I start into it, so we'll skip it for now. On to childhood. Too late. You shouldn't have opened that door, you stupid cunt. She's having old memories come back now, along with me, so shut the fuck up. You telling a fairy tale? One that ends nice and clean? That's the biggest load of shit. Alex has been stuck back there because of your need to express yourself. You reek. Y'all want to know what Mr. Fuckface has been dancing around? Child rape. Alex was raped. Her flashbacks have been keeping it fresh on her mind for the past several months. Everyone seems to think she should allow her body to feel the flashbacks in order to heal. Well, that shit isn't fucking working. So maybe instead of writing a whole book full of trash alluding to child rape the whole time like some sick teaser bullshit, we lay shit on the table. Yes, other shit did happen. But the first hurt that really fucked her was the rape. Now, just because someone lives through something tragic, does that make them a saint? Fuck no. It makes you fucked in the head, useless once the memories come back. Death sounds like sweet release, doesn't it? No more pain, no more memories, no more flashbacks. Sounds like a fucking paradise. She's tried getting there before, never quite worked out. Overdosing isn't a solid way of killing yourself. The cutting always managed by yourself afterward. Duct taping skin back together. Remember how that feels? The blade in your hand, being so close to release. Ah, that was something. Get out, you masochist. Get out of here. Okay, you piece of shit. Alex is shit, we're all shit, full of shit, assholes. You can see it, but your ego's too fucking big, eh? Talk about ego. Get the fuck out. Okay, he backed off for a bit, hopefully. The child rape. Well, that's a big one. She had blacked it out for many years. It came back a number of months ago now. A flashback that really messed her up. She's used to flashbacks. She's had hundreds, if not thousands by now. This was different. She couldn't place the environment. The person she was straddling was a large body, someone in a gray sweatshirt. Her legs looked tiny. There was music playing in the background, Madonna like a virgin, and something burning her, like large metal sticks heated up and being stabbed into her. The pain rose to her entire abdomen and chest. The next flashback came last week, being alone, in the dark, hurt, crying, comforting herself, telling herself someone would be there in the morning. She cried herself to sleep. When she woke up, there was no one there. All the pain she was already feeling was amplified. Where exactly does she come from? What kind of hellhole existence is this? You might be wondering. Alex has 5 half-sisters and step-siblings, 1 stepbrother and 1 stepsister. She grew up with 4 of her 5 half-sisters, her mother and her stepfather. She never knew her father until adulthood. All she knew of her father was vague stories from her mother, who described him as a con man. The family moved around a bit, from apartment in the suburbs of the cities to a trailer court, briefly with her grandparents, and eventually landing in a small town. Her parents switched occupations often, keeping a job the longest a few years and then moving to another. Growing up with 4 sisters provided company. It also provided distraction from the dynamics of the household madness. Alex was the second oldest. Her older sister Lee, 5 years older. Ida, third oldest, 4 years younger than Alex. Bria, next in line, 7 years younger. And lastly, Kara, 9 years younger than Alex. She had a special relationship with the 2 youngest. She felt as though they were her babies. She took care of them in an emotional sense and financially when she got a job in high school. She'd get them dressed, do their hair, help them with homework, and provide comfort and someone to hold them when things got scary. Why are you doing this to her? You know it hurts to think about the girls. Figured some backstory would help. She hasn't seen them in years. I'm fully aware. If it were up to you, nothing would be said. Avoidance doesn't help. You just like wallowing in pain. Isn't it time Alex gets a break? Fuck off. I know where you're going with this. It's undeniable. No matter what, she'll be in pain. She made a promise that's stronger than your bullshit. Fucking A that guy. I'm still here, asshole. For the love of Jesus, crawl back into the hole you crept out of. She's doing well without you. Oh, is she? The daily panic attacks would suggest otherwise. Then the wagon stopped, then the wagon stopped, then the wagon stopped. Great. What does that even mean? Get out, both of you. How the hell can I tell a story when you keep interrupting? This is maddening. Maybe if you weren't a full of shit asshole, less criticism would be coming your way. Anyway, her sisters mean the world to her. That's why she left him to rot with that psychopath. She had no choice. There's always a choice, and she chose her feelings. Where would she be if she kept her in her life? She'd be even more of a mess. Whatever you say, she was supposed to wait till all the girls were out. That was the plan. She has a son to protect, a family of her own. She wants to gouge her skin so bad. It makes her feel better. Even just a little blood would do the trick. Set her head straight. Make her able to function. It's awful, isn't it, Alex? The feeling in your gut. The feeling of losing control. You need that control. Would you leave this place? Let her be? It's just a stress response from her husband being out of town. Her son needs her. A feeling of digging into the skin. It sounds heavenly. She wants it. Doesn't make it smart or reasonable.